I entered this whole period of the COVID era, which causes so much concern, so much worry, with a sense of hope. And let me tell you why. The green agenda, the one that all of you, and I know I'm speaking to the converted for anyone who is on these sessions today, where we have struggled to make our voices heard over the years. In times like this, maybe that opportunity presents itself best. I don't have to tell you all why getting our cities right is important. You know what pollution does for us, how important it is for our cities to be more livable. But in these times when hygiene and health are at the forefront, again, that is the opportunity and the language that we must use. Connect the livability of our cities with the health of our citizens. And we know that both too much of water and too little water are huge issues for us. Extreme weather conditions, natural disasters are in fact displacing today 3 times more people, and this is globally, 3 times more people than war in 2019. We, at each stage of these challenges, have to tackle at a community level. And I think what I heard that Arun Maira had said was very, very valid. There is no one solution, but the general solution will have to be that we look at sanitation, hygiene, cleanliness, provision of water as key ingredients to any city that we look to build. We have a huge number of big cities, yes, but 1,000 towns and cities with populations above 50,000, and only 50 are above 1 million. So let's look at the rest, that of that 1,000, if only 50 get all our attention, we are ignoring a very major investment in the small cities, where, dare I say, the solutions are often easier as well. One of the big requirements in our country is going to be air conditioning, heating also, but mainly air conditioning systems. And estimates show that 2/3 of what we are going to create in terms of buildings and cities are ones that are going to require air conditioning. So let's look at how we build, and the research that is happening in terms of cements and building materials that are cool, as in cool cement, that require less heating and less cooling. These are the sort of items which should become mandatory going forward, so that we can have effective building materials and effective construction and design that A, does not pollute, B, needs less energy, and C, creates the comfort and cost that people can live in an affordable way with less energy bills and healthy environments. We have to create an ecosystem that makes projects viable, and unless the project is viable, it doesn't get financed and business does not come forward to do it. And I do believe that the solution is easy, because it is not that the business of sanitation, for example, is a challenge. It is more the way we are running it in our country. We have quite a rich institution of green bonds that have emerged. In 2019, there was a record $257 billion raised through green bonds, which was 51% higher than in 2018. So, and what's more is, even through these economic downturn and the COVID times, these green bonds have held up really well. So here now we have global capital markets developed in green bonds. India itself has issued some, and the opportunity for green projects to access this. Where we have not achieved much ground is, what is a green project? So it's very easy, yes, renewable energy. So the green bonds have largely gone into renewable energy projects. But we must have a process by which we can actually assess, rate, audit projects which create energy efficiency, projects which bring proper sanitation or water, and have them classified as green with the right audit. Blended finance instruments, these are going to play a key role in upgrading our cities. There are hybrid annuity public-private partnerships. As I mentioned, the whole de-risking of municipal bonds. Foundations and impact investors, they play a key role in coming in where they can fill the gaps and bringing new ideas and innovation into the space through impact investing, through venture capital that looks at building out these green ideas. But unless the ecosystem is right, none of this is going to work. And I think that only government can solve with the help of research institutions, with the help of all of us in terms of understanding what that ecosystem needs to look like to be the winner. We as citizens too have to know that we must pay for these services. So user taxes, user services, sewage treatment services, water taxes, these are all ways which go towards building these coffers of the municipality, of the government, of the institutions. And we should, of course, have transparency to make sure it is used well. The opportunity is huge. And I think what we will do is see that we can create this. And one of the important areas is how we build our buildings going forward. And here, the regulation, the building norms are very important. Having the regulations, which many cities have, is great. Compliance to that norm is very weak. And if we can live up to that, it is good. Now, the good news is that we are seeing that LEED rated buildings in the commercial sector are proving to be quite in demand, and large MNCs and multinational companies in particular, but companies are preferring to lease space or buy buildings that are LEED rated at least gold, if not platinum. So having these ratings means I, as a buyer or a user, am able to pick the building I go in. I'll end with my big insight when traveling in China 3 years ago, was how in their cities they've created community spaces, gardens, and sections of the garden where senior citizens can play music, and it's all managed in terms of the volume at which it is managed. And at 4 o'clock, and every other afternoon, these senior citizens come together and they dance and they meet each other. So you create spaces, but you make those spaces come alive in cities through the way you manage these spaces, recognizing people's needs, recognizing, in this case, loneliness of senior citizens, and giving them a space to convene and come together in a meaningful way. And it was really so heartening to see the smiles and, young children bringing their grandparents to the location and leaving them there to have fun for that hour or two before they went back home. And I think this is what we need to do. Plan our gardens, bring back nature to everyone, but also make these spaces available in ways that make people happier and make our cities less stressful and better to live in.